We are just arriving on station in our patrol area. We're supposed to be conducting combat slash anti-shipping operations within 200 nautical miles of the Truck Lagoon. That is approximately 370.5 kilometers, so I've marked out a circle. So the clock is already ticking. We are in our patrol area, technically. You can see, though, that I have a course plotted to go to Truck, and I know that I'm on record. Let the record show that I am not a big fan of harbor attacks in this game because the graphics for the harbors don't render correctly. So I'm going to actually put that to the test, though, because I don't remember fully testing it in Australia before I left. So I'm going to see if those harbors don't render. If they don't, I'm just going to turn around and go away. Some of you out there have said, well, why don't you just use the map to tell you where the ship actually is? I could, but that feels really cheesy. I gotta be honest with you, that doesn't seem in any way legit. If you want to do, it's not legit for me. If you guys want to do that, go hog wild. But that's not my cup of tea. So I'm gonna. That's probably about 5 clicks away from the main truck base. I think this is actually a bigger dock, though. Well, we'll take what we can get. I'm sure there's gonna be ships there regardless. Let's see, how close is that? Come on. That's 7.5 clicks. I should be able to see it easily from there. And then, actually, this one should be even closer. Oh, yeah. That's actually a good... that was a randomly drawn spot, and I think that's actually going to work perfectly as far as determining whether we can see shit. So, that'll do very well. At the very least, it's going to be a fun adventure, because Truck is going to be guarded by tons of destroyers. So, it'll really put our evasion skills to the test. So I'm up for the challenge. It's been a very boring passage from our old grid to get to here, so I'm ready for anything. I'm tanned and rested. I'm ready to rock. So we're going to sail on this way. I don't expect a lot in the way of contact, maybe some planes. But other than that, if there's something more exciting, I'll let you guys know. And by the way, while we've been on the way to Truck, I realized something, and that is that it's actually easier for me to rename the crew while we're still at sea, and the reason for that is that in the save file, I have to go in manually basically to edit the save file, and it's a little bit labor intensive, so I have to find each individual crew member's blob of data and then change the name to whatever name you guys want, and it's a little bit labor intensive because I have to manually find and replace. But if I do it while I'm in port, it actually includes the names of all of the crewmen I can possibly recruit, in addition to the people that are already on the boat. So it's a lot more difficult to actually get the names on the people that they're supposed to be on. In addition to that, it's also difficult for me to name people to like specific ranks and positions on the boat. So I just kind of randomly threw people onto the boat. So if you wanted to be like a navigator or you wanted to have a certain rank, I'm sorry, but I just can't do it because I'm kind of lazy. But it's just better for me, and it allows me to actually play the game rather than messing around with the meta game, if you will. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you William Brothers, and then Daniel Odette. Das Piloten. I'm suspicious about that guy. Pegasus. Wow, it's magical. Air Force. I don't think that even exists yet. Istruba. War Duck. The Derp. One of many. Padre Reed. Longtime friend of the channel, Padre Reed. Dick Doc. Well, we're going to need one of those. Delonian, another longtime friend of the channel. William Halsey. I somehow doubt that's him. Frankly, I think that's a bunch of bull. Top Hat Dino. Bob Petrov. Kenneth Seal Hunter Lepa. You know, that's so silly because I thought that was one of the actual names that, the game assigns to people because they are ridiculous. I hesitated for a second. I was like, did I change that one? But I did. Shadow Raptor. Our DJ Dirty Yelp. I'm go with the soft J on that. Let me know if I'm wrong. I like the idea of a Dirty Yelp. That is a service I would use. Reyes Raptor. That's Raptor X911. Why didn't you just go with that? That's easy for me. God. Scrooge McFuck. I don't want to know what he keeps in his bank and dives in. Dr. Napster for all of your illicit file sharing needs. Willibeth. Dwarf Elvish Diplomacy, a name which for some reason really amuses me. This just says Kenneth Noisewater. I believe it is supposed to be Dr. Kenneth Noisewater, though. And that makes this entire sub the Octagon. Mike Hunt. No comment. Cuddles von Hugbear. Breakfast Sandwich, a name that makes me terribly hungry. Get Lost, who wanted to be a navigator. He's on the deck watch. He can still get us lost. In addition to my getting us lost, he can help out. Avers Fudge. Who else? Soleil. Shenanigan O'Flanagan. Butter Baguette. Mr. Watu. Watu, not a spy bonsai. Not at all suspicious of that guy. Zane Duncan. Travis Baker. Lef Erickson, and he spelled it that way. I'm just saying. Septic Limb. Who's a doctor. Not one I would ever want to go to. He's probably on an HMO. Earl Erland. Hugh Jass. Quarentin 196. I can't believe I laughed at that. Elron Flaps. Those are the ears, I guess. Mr. Cujo. The sub's really gone to the dogs. The Nimos. I think I had a discussion with you about how to pronounce your name, and I think I might have just gotten it wrong. Is it Nemos? It's Nemos. I'm gonna say it's Nemus. Nemos, not Nemus. Will do. And he claims that's his real name. I have my doubts. Mr. Blue Jeans, not to be confused with Mr. Green Jeans, that creepy guy from Captain Kangaroo. The Little Cloud. Sir Simon. Bobson Jr. Barack O'Bamber. Scoop. That's a good name. Issen the Vampire. What's the scoop, poop? Anyways, Webs for Scrubs. Bertram Pillerman. That's another name that I'm not sure. Is that one of the ones? I think I was given that name. Okay. Cod Raven. Narwolf. Arno B. Joseph Malinsky. Your butts are swans. Double check that. Oh my god, he's right. Tamrin. Remove sushi. The best way to remove sushi is with your mouth. Hans Steen. Joel Jacob. Comma Man 64, a name that gives us all pause. Jaquan the Chef. Sticky Seaman. Fuck. I laughed at that one too. Big Fat Penguin. Swack. Hitman. Well, that's kind of nice that they're right next to each other. Grenadier C. Nickel. Is it Nickel or Nickel? I've never asked you. Well, whatever. Mechanized Fantasy. Lars Marsluker. It's a tough one. Discorsi. Mr. Bigglesworth. Look what we've done to him. Tengu 190. Dan Mingle. Manuel Man. Cinch. Oh, God. Who let him on board? This is going to be a messy trip. Animal Hero 96. Genghis Khan. And finally, Soviet Spy. Hello. I just want to work on submarine. What big problem? So that is the crew. If your name is not included on there, chances are, if I get somebody killed, I'll go ahead and add you. But yeah, we have a pretty full crew. That's 81 crewmen. So, like I say, I'll try to get somebody killed, so if you're on the list, you can get added on. There's just a few people on there, so all in all, pretty happy that managed to get that many people on. So, without further ado, let's continue our trip to truck. We're doing a late night soak, and I was about to bring us up, so I like to manually check the hydrophone myself just to make sure there's nothing there. And what should I hear but this? Nothing. But it's apparently a thing because the green light says so. All hail the green light. So there's apparently something out there, but we can't really hear it. The game is pretty generous with this as far as being able to hear stuff. So it's 100 to 120, I bet. About that. So it's about 110 degrees off of our current course. Let's go and see if we can find it here. Let's draw a quick little line here. That's due south. Wonderful. No idea what direction he's heading, so I'm going to turn to the south, go on the surface. And you know what? I think I don't have my radar at the right range. I do not. So, let's see. He may I was going to say he may very well not be in range. It started to come out. He may very well... I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. The English language is not my friend. So, we don't have him on radar. We are going to start rocking and rolling that way, though. You are not scanning, are you? Yeah, do a continuous search, please. And nothing yet. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive then. Alright. Everybody's yelling at me. What did I do? Indoor voices, please. My goodness. So he should be somewhere over here, right? There you go. That's a good, strong engine noise to 45 degrees. Okay, so let's... 45 degrees, huh? He is moving probably a little bit quicker than I thought. Although, actually, I'm at a big scale here. Okay. 45 would be something like... Well, that's not quite right, but... No, it would be southwest. Because I'm heading south. Let's head west-southwest, and let's get on the surface and really try to pick up on him here. Got a sound contact? Somehow? How? I don't know. Everybody, jeez Louise. Everybody's yelling at each other. It's like a goddamn Jerry Springer show. Well, I don't see him. And I will try to brighten this up, by the way. I've noticed a lot of people saying, I can't see a goddamn thing. And that's not real nice of me to just not do anything about that. So I will try. There we go. Okay. My watch crew has their peepers in, which is actually a legitimate problem. Sometimes the eyes disappear on our crew. We have a guy in sight here. For some reason my radar isn't doing anything? Did I not? Whatever. It's right there. Well, since we have him on radar, I'm going to go ahead and say it's fair to use his range, because the radar will give us an exact range on this guy, or a pretty close range anyhow. Let's see what it says here. Let's change it to precision. So he's really close. Okay, why isn't it giving me... Where'd you go? Oh, goodness. I tell you, folks. Okay, there he is. Let's try that again. Oh, that's really... Yeah, okay. Duh. That's why it wasn't showing up. Precision is like within 1,000 yards. I forget how to... Is it that button? I'm just gonna... What are you doing? Alright. Just saw this hand over here and I was like, what the fuck, man? Anywho, based on the scale, he's probably about 5 clicks away. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat again. There you go. Is that keeping? Well, he's 6. So... and it looks like he's heading about west-northwest, so I'm going to adjust accordingly. Try to get into a firing position here. And again, I feel like it's not cheating if I have the radar on and I'm able to get a pretty good fix on his range. Alright, so he's going this away, and I'm going to use my stern tubes because these are stern times, serious business. Yes, sir. Go to the west. And then we're going to go...
Yes, sir. New course.
We're going to go yell at everything. How about that? Alright, so that would be... It's a good spot to turn. I think that that's about this course.
Yes, new course 190. Yes, sir. New course 190.
Okay, let's actually take that out to the west. I could measure that a little bit better, but I don't feel like it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
197.
And let's actually see if we can identify him. I wonder if I should do this on the surface or underwater. We do run the risk of being detected on the surface, of course. Where'd he go? Oh my god, okay, there he is. Couldn't possibly have lost him already. I think that's a tanker. Actually, let's look at that a little bit more closely. I thought it was too dark to make him out, but yeah, that's a tanker of some kind. That's wonderful news. Let's go to the TBT or whatever the crap this is called. The TNA. Alright, let's get the guide out here. That is a merchant ship. It's not a naval ship, so let's go ahead and go to the tankers on here. He's really tough to make out, even... I know that you guys will be pissing and moaning about how hard he is to see. I will try to tweak it. Tweak it in post, which makes me sound like a professional. I'm not. But he has two masts, it looks like. He has one right on the front, and then another between the cabin and the engine house. So, that's a candidate right there. So is that. So is that. Okay, well, it's a common structure. So let's see if we can get anything more distinct. Now that looks pretty promising right there. Might have to wait for him to get a little bit closer, but I kind of like the look of that. Let's take a look at the others here. Yeah, the mast is really tall. That one has a really tall mast. This one is not so much. That would be really wonderful if it was one of these, but I don't think so. Yeah, the stack is too tall on this. This has a relatively short stack. Short stack of pancakes. And this stack is pretty wide. It has these cranes here, which this target does not. Is he steering?
Yes, sir. Periscope
I think I've gotten too close.
Yes, sir. Periscope down.
What do I have loaded in my stern tubes? Oh, these pieces of shit. Well, these are actually perfect for a short-range attack. I'm going to dive. I think I've gotten us too close. And I forgot that I'm just thumping away at full speed. That's pretty fast. That's going to put us on the intercept course pretty quickly. Let's take a look. We're at the intercept point, I guess. And let's go ahead and start turning.
Yes, sir. New course 2.
Alright. Gradually turning. Oh, I'm turning the wrong way, though. Wanted to be turning this way, but that's alright. Alright.
Yes, sir. New course.
Again with the yelling. Goodness gracious. Alright. He doesn't appear to have started to zigzag or anything like that, which is fortuitous. And that is a great view of him. So I feel pretty confident about it being not that one, this one. Oh yeah. It's got these little thingies on it. There you go. I like it. Alright, so let's go to the position keeper, doohickey. Actually, first of all, again, let's double check. Tubes 9 and 10 are these. These have no speed setting. They're no different, I think, from the Mark 14. Just they have a fast speed setting, and that's it. So they're kind of lame. So that's tubes 9 and 10. Set these to contact. And let's also just make sure our rudder's going to midships. And let's start ranging them out. That's perfect. Start the chronometer. And he's going to be about 30 degrees or so. Maybe a little bit more. Let's do another ranging here. And again, the reason I use the chronometer, you don't need to at all. It's not necessary. It just gives me a better idea of how long the time has been between my measurements. So it just helps me a little. No real appreciable change in his AOB. Something like that. Let's see what the game says. 7 knots. Well, we'd be nuts not to believe him. Okay, I wonder if I should send that one to the right a little bit. Just on the off chance that he's going 8. 8 is such a common speed for these. I think he's going a little faster than that. I think he's going 8. Okay. Forgot that it's not like the German TDC. It's all relative, man. All right. Let me go ahead and open her up. Or at least set to contact. Good. Okay. Let's fire this one. Give that one a little bit of English.
Torpedo in the water.
Wait a couple of seconds here.
Firing tube 10.
There we tube 10, huh? Okay. If you insist.
Torpedo in the water.
Why am I pushing all these buttons? They are not good buttons, they're bad buttons. Okay, that looks pretty good. These are just going to haul ass towards them because they have that fast speed setting. And well, yeah, 8 looks like it was bang on. 7 seemed a bit slow to me. Even 8 was possibly slow. That managed to actually go off. Oh, goodness. Okay. Did not need an additional torpedo. But there it goes anyways.
Torpedo isn't done, sir.
Well, good thing we got rid of that one anyways then. Yikes. Single hit just completely obliterates the target. And also apparently causes the game to not make sounds correctly anymore. Because we can't even hear it burning. Wow. Well, good shot. And that was about 4,000 tons, right? God, I cannot push the right buttons today. 5,000, alright. Good deal. Not too shabby. Let's go on the surface. We need to continue on towards truck then. And see if we can sink other similar ships.